Hello everybody, how are you going? Here we are in our new suburban, yet way more safe than CBD studio. And today, I've decided deliberately to sit in the window where there's a great deal of light behind me. There's a beautiful side light coming in here, making me look wonderful. How could I look any better? I don't think it's possible. And we're here today to talk about this. This is the Z50 with the 2-lens kit. That's what we're going to talk about today. Let's roll credits. Woo! That was our new Suburban credits. I hope you like them as much as I did. I don't know what they look like yet, but they're gonna look amazing. You would have seen the previous video where we talked about this space and the history of it and all that sort of thing. As you can see, here's our for lease sign. Sadly, we didn't get leased before the zombie apocalypse, but it has its upsides. We can come to this very quiet, safe space and keep away from people and not have to get on public transport, even so you just saw a bus going past, because my little old shop happens to be exactly in front of a bus stop. How cool's that? Anyway, the main game, the Z50, the first thing I want to do is talk about why. Why did I get the Z50? I talked about the Z50 probably about six months ago when I was looking at the Z6 versus the Z50. And as my YouTube world keeps expanding and growing, I love the idea of having a camera that's just dedicated to video. Now, I am going to do an unboxing as well, but I've just got to let you in on a little secret. I have actually pulled it out of the box, just the body. I actually haven't taken the lenses out yet, but I've just taken the body out. We've already used it for this video here, and you can see how good it is. It's for it to be a specific third camera and also to be a studio camera. And it's extraordinarily affordable for the fact that you get very high quality 4K video and you can use all the amazing Nikon Z glass. That's the reason. Anyway, let's get to the unboxing. This is where I need my Googles. Here they are. All right, let's get into it. Oh yeah, baby. I decided to go with the 2-lens kit because literally they give you another whole lens for like $200, which is just nothing. So I just decided to do that. Anyway, all the normal paperwork and warranties, which I've got to send in. Let's look at the main game. Now, the only part, it's a true story, the only part that I've opened is the camera, but I did put it back for the sake of authenticity. And here it is. Here is the camera. And what I love about this little beast is how it is a miniature version of the Z6 and the Z7, and it actually has most of the important things that you need, which is these function buttons and a good sized grip, but it's absolutely tiny. Now, that's the body. Let's put that to one side. Now, let's have a look at what we've got here. This must be the smaller. Yes, clearly. Wow. People talked about how small these lenses are, and that is ridiculous, and it is so light. So this is the very first time I've touched this lens, and it's a 16 to 50, which means it's basically a 24 to 75. Whoa, there you go. Yeah, wow, that is a light little lens. Amazing. And there it is with the full Z mount. And I suppose that's a plastic mount. So that's how they make this lens cost about $200. So it doesn't have the same build quality, but that's okay. You get what you pay for in life. And as we can see right here, it's made in Thailand. Let's have a look at this. So this is the longer lens. I think this was, what is this? This is something like a 50 to a 240 or something we're about to see anyway. Again, I've never opened this lens, and it is indeed, it's a 50 to 250. Which makes it again a 75 to 375 millimeter lens, which is pretty ridiculous. And of course, both of these lenses have stabilization, so they are stabilized. And let's zoom And yeah, that zooms quite a long way, doesn't it? But this lens is only an extra $200 more, so that's pretty cool. And again, I'm going to be really interested to see if this is a lens good enough for, say, when I go to sporting events recreationally, not for work, when I'm with the kids down at the beach, and just to use for non-professional work. Strap, of course, that's the strap there. What else have we got hiding in here? We've got our USB to micro USB. I was a bit disappointed. I have to say, I was a bit disappointed that this is not USB-C. Nikon, come on. The Z6 and the Z7 are USB-C. This is just another cable and this is the past. Anyway, we're not all perfect, are we? In here, what have we got in here? We've got the battery charger. The battery charger, never before opened. There it is. Not the same as the Z6 and the Z7, which is a bit disappointing again. And one thing we have observed is the battery life is short on this camera. This whole box of stuff, how much was it? I got it on sale, but it was like $700 cheaper than the Z6 body. And you get all these lenses and you get all this stuff, so it's amazing. Anyway, that's the unboxing. Fantastic. So here's all the bits. This is everything you get for your dime, plus some paper, which we don't care about. Okay, for the first time ever, I'm going to whack on. Oh, well, let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at this for a second. So here we have the full-sized Z mount. So what's amazing about this camera, and I think it's absolutely the most powerful aspect of it, is that it's small, it's cheap, all those sorts of things, as in affordable, but you can still mount Nikon's ridiculously good Z glass. Anything up to a Noct. I don't know if anyone's put the Noct on this yet. That would be crazy, that you can basically, in this country, you can buy 10 of these for the price of the Noct. But, so here's my 35mm 1.8, and we can pop that on the front. Let's take off that. And that's it. And then this is a 50mm lens. It's a 50mm unstabilized lens, but it's a 50mm lens. And unstabilized, well, just a few years ago, all of my prime lenses were unstabilized on my D850. So that's nothing different for a guy like me. So I've already taken some shots with the 50mm, I think it was, on the front. The thumbnail for this video here was taken with the Z50 and the 50mm, just like this. So I have had a chance to look at the files and they look extraordinary. It's just cropped. So very, very impressive. Going back to what you get in the box and what you get from these lenses, let's just take this lens off. And for the very first time, we're going to mount the pancake lens. Well, this is not strictly a pancake lens, but really it is a pancake zoom. Okay, so let's just cop a look. And we'll just, if we can cut to camera 1, we'll just have a small break to say thank you for this kitchen table from Australian 1950s. I've had this table for a very long time, and it was given to me by a dear friend by the name of Tara more than 15 years ago. And of course, Cam 2, it makes a glorious backdrop. Who wouldn't want Laminex backdrops in their videos today? Anyway, we'll jump on from that little advertisement to talk about how cute does that look. That is an amazing little setup with basically the equivalent of a 24-70, slightly different. Yes, the f-stops are not the best in the world. They are 3.5 to 6.3, but the lens is stabilized, so you're going to be able to get some low shutters out of it. Let's just have a look at what that looks like. Let's extend that little guy. And yeah, that's very cool. That is small and light, and geez, I would be happy to take that out and stick it in my pocket. It is tiny. It is so tiny and so small. That is brilliant. You know, we've got the fully articulating screen, but of course there's one feature in this camera which the Z6 and Z7 don't have, which is the selfie camera. Not only did I manage to buy this on sale, but there's a little promotion going where you get a bracket which allows you to have a tripod and a microphone, And so you can use this as a selfie screen and camera. So that's a cool thing. As usual, I'm shooting on manual. Let me go to some form of auto. Isn't this cool? We've now got a selfie screen. Anyway, we get an idea of the camera. So it's got the flip screen. That's an advantage. I think that's a nice advantage if you want that sort of thing. So this would be an absolutely great run and gun camera for anybody. You get amazing 4K. And here's one of the strongest points about this camera. It's tiny. It's got the flippy screen. You get run and gun, but you get the full quality of the Z glass if you want it at another time. Amazing. It's just amazing. Let's talk about some cons though. The cons. First con, battery life. Damn, this thing's got this tiny little diminutive little. Let's name it. What's it called? It's called the ENEL25. It doesn't last very long. I think we found it lasted about half an hour on video. Don't know for stills, but look. I haven't properly tested, so this is just first impressions. And it takes SD cards. Now, I love XQD and CF Express, and but anyway, this is a consumer level camera. It's just a con. It's not the end of the world. It's got one of those. Any other cons? Yes, the other con would be it doesn't have in-body stabilization. Okay, so here we are at 24. Just, I've got the 16 to 50 on. And I'm doing slight jiggles. We're at 16, equivalent to 24. Now let's zoom that out to the equivalent of 75. And doing a little jiggle here. More than you would do if you're trying to just get a nice solid shot. Very impressed by that. Back to the studio. When you are using non-stabilized lenses, then you have to be a traditional photographer, which is exactly what my world was before I got a Z6, a Z7 or an A7R III. So we're just talking, go back to 2018, and that was my life. It's all much the same. Again, these are stabilized. Oh yeah, there's a couple of other cons, which I didn't know. Check this out. We do not have an earphone socket. We only have a microphone socket. Again, not the end of the world. I don't use it much, and they've done their market research. We've probably used the earphone socket once out of the 150 times we've shot with the Z6 and Z7. It has micro HDMI instead of mini, which is annoying. And instead of USB-C, as I've already talked about, it has USB micro. All of those things are annoying. I feel like there's enough space here. It's just a decision that they've made to differentiate. Okay, not the end of the world. So, to go through the cons again, battery life, SD card, no earphone jack, no stabilization, and no USB-C, and no HDMI mini. I reckon that's about it. You've got a couple of less buttons, but that's something that you can just work around, not the end of the world. The pros, oh my Lord. There's another pro I wanted to talk, besides the flippy screen, there's another pro I want to talk about, which is this. Huh, who knew? It's got a flash. How ridiculous. Watch out. I'm going to flash at you. Here we go. Let's have a little flash at each other. Love it. What happened? I'm on video mode. Fail. Here we go. Okay, let's zoom a little bit. That's 75. There we go. Oh, love it. And I don't know. Oh, I've got to... See, Pro. I've got to format the card because I put a card from a different camera. Please hold. Menu. Go. Yeah, great. Done. Boom. Oh. Okay, off we go. Here we go. We are ready to fly. Okay, here we go. I'm going to flash at you. Oh! Was it as good for you as it was for me? That was so good. Anyway, so it's got the flippy screen. It's got a flash. It can take all of the Z lenses, like all of them. Everything, every damn Z lens that's been made to date, it can take them all. It's part of the family. So I think for its price point, to get into the Z system, if you're in your F and you're a D850 person and you love the F world, this is an amazing little gateway starting camera, honestly. If you're keen to get in at the cheapest, most affordable level, this is just ridiculously good. Otherwise, for someone like me where it's a B or a C camera, it's ridiculously affordable to be able to get 4K. And it's the same great 4K so far. Again, this is first impressions. It's the same great 4K that we get from the Z6. Can I just make another complaint? I just want to make another complaint, people. What is this for a lens cap? Honestly, I have never seen a lens cap that crap in a long time. Nikon, you should be slightly ashamed of saving, I don't know, $1 on giving us that instead of not even $1. Anyway, what do you do? Here we go. Here is, basically this is all but a 400mm lens. That's a bit nuts. 400mm. Yeah, a 70, it's basically almost a 70 to 400. Let's take a shot. I'll zoom all the way in on the camera. Wow, that's cool. Far out, and that is nicely stabilized. Great, yeah, it's not getting in it's not getting in focus what I wanted it to get in focus. I will show you those shots. Let me just make a quick change here to the focusing system. I do like this viewfinder. I think it's smaller. Yeah, it looks nice. Good color. So here we are, 1/25 of a second. Well, there you can see why we spend money on prime lenses. We're shooting at 1/25 at 6.3, and in order to get the exposure, our ISO is at 6,400. That's a little scary. So I'll show you these files and we can look at them together. Okay, well here is the first image out of the Z50. And let's just have a quick look at that one. And it is a 640 ISO, 1/60th of a second, 6.3. But we are at the 50mm focal length, which is the equivalent of 75mm. And we're zooming in here significantly. That's 200%, I think. No, that's 200. That's 100%. That file looks great at 640 ISO. And edge sharpness is good. Look at that. That's at the bottom of the frame there. We're looking good. Anyway, this is just having a quick look. But that's pretty impressive. Then I want to show you this, because this is pretty ridiculous. So this is then at the equivalent of 375mm. This is 250 before the DX, but look at that ISO. Now that's not bad for 6400 ISO. Now, and that is pixel for pixel. Pretty good. That's just the raw file. I haven't touched it. A little bit overexposed. Okay, so not so great in low light, and I wouldn't call this low light, but yeah, this is where we'll see how good a high ISO is. I am shooting auto, so let's go over to manual just for a second, and we will dial up. Wow, yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so in order to get an exposure similar to the last one, we are at 1/4 of a second. Let's see how the stabilization works. To base ISO. Now, this is not fully sharp. I only took one shot, but check out where that's at. 1/4 of a second. Not bad. I reckon if I'd shot at 1/8 or 1/16, that would have been sharp. Interesting. Not bad. I love pushing a camera to its limits. That'll be interesting. So anyway, there's that lens. As you can see, it extends quite significantly. But to wrap this up and to say it again, I think this is a great gateway camera to get into the Z system. I think for a family camera to have this and this for the price that you get them for, is that about the right spot, is ridiculously good. And then as a second or third camera in a Z system, brilliant, brilliant. Still early days. We're still working on it. But that's it. So please, tell me what you think of the Z. Tell me whether you think I'm stupid. Love to know. I didn't mean in general, just in regards to this. That'd be great. And I hope that you're looking after yourself out there. All right. As always, if you like what you see, please subscribe. Please share. It makes us all smarter. Please like. Helps get the word out there. And if you'd like to see over 150 videos, you can just click on the screen down there. See more of me. And I won't be inviting you to our city space just right now. Okay. Bye. It's actually pretty impressive. I need to set the diopter up though. It feels a little, yeah, it feels a little out of focus. Oh, another thing that really annoys me is when the shots play, my nose hits the screen and then we get, it zooms in on them, and that's really annoying. Anyway, that's okay. I think the credits have finished rolling.